BookTube, it's Missy, and today I'm here to bring you guys some information on book apps. That's right, apps all about books for your phone. Now, or devices, or computer, whatever you want to do with them. I typically use Goodreads on the daily. And then I just found a new one called Bookshelf, which I will talk about at the end of the video. But everybody should know about Goodreads, which is a website online that talks about books and has reviews, and you can purchase books from Goodreads, I believe. I mean, it does give you links to Amazon and Barnes & Noble and other book sites that you can buy through Goodreads, I think. But the cool thing about Goodreads is that you can put up challenges. There are groups that you can participate in. It's free. There is no kind of fee, where you can add as many books as you want onto Goodreads, as many shelves as you want onto Goodreads. You can join as many groups as you want on Goodreads. And again, it's a free website. All you have to do is sign up with an email address, and then you're golden. You can join in with the Goodreads challenge, where you put how many books you want to read in that year and start reading. And then once you've read it, you can rate it and you can give it a review, and you can read hundreds of other reviews from other people who are on Goodreads. And like, it's legit the biggest book app that I have found through Apple. Now, this is strictly for Apple phones because that's what I own. I guess I could have gone through to see if what? Sorry. I don't know what's going on with the lights. I'll tell you a ghost story one day, but not today. So there are about 19 book apps that I have gone through. There's going to be a lot of repetition in each of these book apps. There are 3 categories that I will be focusing on for these apps. Like I said, Goodreads has a whole bunch of features, and it's all for free. So the apps that I found, there is a big chunk that has timers on them, so that way you can do like reading sprints. And then these timers can then be saved onto the app, and then you can have like stats that will show you how long it takes you to read a certain amount of pages, and how many pages you have read in a week, in a month, in a year. So there are apps that are strictly for timing and stats. There are apps that are just strictly for library purposes, so that way you can scan all of your books into the app and then know exactly what you have. But that's it. You don't leave reviews on it. It's just to contain your collection. And then the third kind of apps are the ones that have either coaching involved, so they kind of like pep you up to continue to read. Those also are the ones that have challenges that you can follow. You can join challenges. There are also badges that you can earn. Things to kind of get you motivated to keep reading. So there's like the funner ones, the very basic plain Janes, and then in the middle where you can do a little bit of everything. Some of these are absolutely free. Some of them you only get a certain amount of abilities on the app unless you want to pay a ridiculous amount of money. Some are very, very cheap, and some are way expensive for my taste. I would never. Again, and then at the very end of the video, I will then talk about my favorite app that I have found during this process. I will also leave all of the information that I was talking about, or the main points of each app, I will put on the screen so you guys have a better reference. I will leave all of the names down below in timestamps so that way you can reference back to the ones that you want. And I will try to focus on putting everything in categories so that way you guys know which ones are strictly for cataloging your bookshelves or creating your virtual library, which ones are good for badges and statistics, and which ones are mainly for reading sprints, like if you wanted to time your reading and kind of get an average based on how quickly you read and how much time you have spent on a particular book. So the first one we have is Stacks. Now this one gives you a little bit more information. It does give you a summary of the book that you have scanned in. As you can see, I already kind of like started on the front page, but here we're adding a title. It does scan without a barcode, so it's just going to scan it. It's going to again tell you the summary of the book. You can add it to your list if you're currently reading it, if you have already finished it. This particular one didn't allow me to have the actual cover, so you can just choose whichever cover you prefer. I do think you can take a picture of it, but I can't remember. Yeah, and that's basically Stacks. That one is just to catalog what you own. All right, the next one is called Book Jar. This is mainly for children and for schools. I don't know how this works, but I wanted to add it in case you do have school-age kids. This has AR quizzes, or not AR quizzes, but the AR number, so you can add up how many AR points your child is getting throughout the semester. You can add the title of the book that you want. It tells you exactly how many AR points is per book, and normally in a elementary setting, the more AR points a child gets at the end of the month, they usually get some form of like dog tag or maybe a certificate for what they have read that month. And then this allows you to buy it through Amazon. It does ask for a school code, and because I don't have the code, I couldn't actually use the app. But if you are in a school, or your children are in a school setting that uses the Book Jar app, then that'll be really beneficial. Otherwise, it's really cool that you can get the AR points. That'll be helpful for your kids instead of having to wait to go to school and look it up through their library. So that's mostly for parents who have school-age kids. App I'm going to talk about is called My Bookshelf, which is not the same as the Bookshelf app that I'm going to be talking about at the end. This one is just a collection. So it allows you to look at what you have in your inventory by author, title, or what was it? Let me play it one more time. It was such a quick video. Either you're reading it now or you're reading it later. Categories, author, and tallies. Tally is like how many you read in a single month. That's the one I was missing. You get 15 books total for free. And then if you pay $3.99, you get a unlimited amount of books to add to this app. And it's just a one-time fee. The next app is called Book Crawler. Now, please ignore this. It is weird. This is, again, something that you have to pay for. And there's not many features on this one. So the cool thing about this particular app, though, is that it allows you to find the book you're looking for at a library near you. That was the main thing that I thought was pretty cool. You can sign in through Goodreads, but once you've reached your book section, you can add your books. It'll all go by title, and then again, it'll tell you all of the information. You can add like how much you paid for the book. You can add tags to it, but this is mainly something that was really cool was because it does allow you to find a library with the book that you're looking for in your area. I'm just clicking on all of the buttons so you guys can see kind of what everything does, but there is purchases for this app if you want to be able to use more of it. Alright, let's see what else. Settings, I think. Yeah, you can scan it through Apple. I just click on everything so you guys can see the entirety of the app. When you scan your books, you do get a flashlight, which is very helpful when it's dark. You can actually see. They do have batch scan, which means that you can scan more than one ISBN or barcode at a time. You don't have to continuously push a button to scan it. It'll just keep scanning until you're done. You can share documents with this app. You can export and import anything that you want, meaning whatever you want from the app itself. I already talked about how you can sign in through Goodreads. It connects you to a library. The next app I'm going to talk about is called Library Thing. Here's Library Thing. Here's your catalog. You can add to your catalog however many books you want. This is what it looks like. You can give it a star rating. It gives you a little bit of information. Okay, so the cool thing about Library Thing is that it does come with bulk scan and a flashlight. Like I said, there is star ratings, and the only app that I have found so far that allows you to do half stars. Again, it gives you a little bit of information on the book, allows you to change the cover. I already talked about that, and it's also linked to Amazon, so if you want to go quickly to Amazon through this app, you can do so. I'm going to talk about is called Book Organizer.
Editing Missy here. I just realized that when I was going over this app, I didn't have the right footage. Like, I wasn't speaking about the app correctly. So this app is very, very basic. You can add books to it, as you can see. You have the library. You have your recent and your wish list. These are the books that I have put in. You could do a star rating. There is no half stars. And that's basically it. You can scan the book. I really liked this little effect. You can scan the book. Let me show you a book so I can, you get an idea of how it works. There is the cover. I don't know what's going on here, but there's the cover. You can search it up, or you can type in the ISBN manually, but basically this is it. This is just a cataloging system for your shelves. All you get to do is put in the book and add it to your collection. This, I'm showing you how to do it by looking it up through the internet. There is Firestarter, as you can see. I am supposed to be adding it. Oh, what am I doing? I was just all over the place there. All right, and then those are the only two settings. There's the book stack and then your account, and that's it.
Okay, so this one is called Sort It. Now this one doesn't have much to it. This gives you a little bit of a synopsis. It gives you some information. You can share it with Twitter, Facebook. You can add more collections. It doesn't have to just be for books. There is the camera scanning. Oh, I didn't show anything. Bulk camera scan. For some reason, I didn't want to show you how to do that. Yes, the next one is called Book Buddy. This one is pretty. It comes with its own couple of books, which I didn't try to delete, but I wouldn't read them. I don't know why it comes with some random stuff, but I added 2 books to this list. As you could see, I added Surrey, Who Am I, and also The Alienist. But you are able to scan it and use the flashlight. You can say whether you liked it or not. It gives you a little bit of information on the book itself. There is half stars in this one, which is nice. So this is the second app that allows you to give half stars. It is Oh, you can also talk about whether you have borrowed the book or if someone else has borrowed it from you. And yeah, there's all the things you can sort it by, whether you want to do genre or author. You can search up the books manually. You can sync it. There's Book Buddy contacts, so other people from your phone book can be added to this app if they are also a part of it. If you want the full version of this app, it is $4.99. Again, you can keep track of all of the books that you have loaned out to friends. You can essentially... I needed a taco break. I needed a taco break. It is Taco Tuesday. We went to Del Taco. If you don't know what Del Taco is, it's better than Taco Bell. Everybody knows Taco Bell. Taco Bell is crap. Tacos. Del Taco is way better. Anyways, today's Taco Tuesday, so you get 3 tacos for $1.69. They're very tiny. I had 9. That's too many tacos. But I'm not full. Maybe it's because I only had breakfast today. Anywho, where were we? I was talking about the Book Buddy app. And I did say that you could lend it out. It would keep track of those that you've lent out the books to. You can either tell them obviously in person, or you can text them through the book app that their loan is almost due, which I think is super funny. And then there's a ton of filters that you can use, including AR level, which again is good for elementary students. I don't think AR level is used for middle school and high school. It wouldn't make any sense. But if I'm wrong, please let me know down below. Alright, the next one we have is called the reading list. This one, as you can see, does give you a little bit of information, but there's not a lot to it. So you can scan it, a barcode with it. It does come with a flashlight. This is basically just a collection app, so that way you can make sure you have a catalog of everything that you own. And as you can see here, you can organize it. There's a little bit of stuff. You can tip the person who makes the app, but that's basically it. There's no bells and whistles on that one. Just for making sure you have everything on your shelves in a simple app. It's free, and it does come with the barcode scanning, which is the most important. I find it saves a lot more time than having to type all of the ISBNs into the information box. Although it's also good that you can do that, because some older books using the barcode on the back doesn't work, and sometimes the inside flap is too worn to read, and so you do have to end up inserting the ISBN at some point in time. So yeah, very simple cataloging app with is Readmo. Alright, so Readmo is a very basic app. There is reading to, read, finish, and abandon. This is the only app that I found that has a DNF category. You can have your timer on. It tells you how many pages you've read. You can add it to reading or unread and so forth. So you choose the category. This was hard to navigate. You can set a goal of how many books you want to read, but the main screen I didn't like very much. I felt like I was going back and forth a lot because I couldn't figure out how to turn on the timer. I know that there is one, but I couldn't figure it out while I was showing you on the screen. But let me give you a little bit of more information on Readmo. So there is no bar scan, so you must add everything manually. If that is, you know, a hindrance, you might not like this app. Again, there is no ISBN, so you of the cover of your book if you want to add it to the app itself, and then you have to manually add the author. There is a timer, there's a reading goal setter like you saw, but it's majorly basic, and that's it. And like I said, the very front of the app, like the home page, is very hard to navigate because when you're on there, you just see that one book, and it was difficult for me to figure out how to turn the timer on, even though I've done it once. It is free, and it doesn't say anything about having to pay fees or how many books you can add. Or maybe it's just one book. You can only read one book at a time. I'll have to go back through, and I'll leave any information down below if there is more for this app. The next one was a lot of fun. It's called Mad Reader. Here we go, Mad Reader. Now, this one, you add the books. It tells you when you started, when you finished. You can add anything that you want. There's notes. All of these little pencils, you can switch things out. You can put it on a list. You can tag it. As you can see, I said it was publisher sent to me. I am adding the book now. You're going to add it by barcode. And there is a flashlight with that. As you can see, once I put the flashlight on, it was able to read it better. And it gave you the correct cover for the book, which is nice. You can rate it. And then this one has the commercials on the bottom, but it does have all of these different things here. You can connect it to Goodreads, which I find awesome. What else? You can send your list to people. You do have to log in. Badges that you can acquire through reading. You can import it from Goodreads. I already talked about that. And then the different stats is to read, want, pre-ordered, reading, reread, TBR, interested, or DNF. Those are a lot of categories, and this one had the most categories. A lot of them had read, to read, or finished, or completed, or, you know, thinking about it. But this one had the most categories. I did like that it had DNF. I know I did say that another one was the only one. This one also had DNF. But I like that it kept track of all of your pre-orders. Anything that was on your TBR, a reread. Those things are stats that you might want to keep, especially if you are a booktuber and you want to have all that information readily available for you by the end of the year. Then you have all of the categories or shelves that you can add all of your books to, and then look it up at the end of the year, and that seems really quick and easy. Again, this one is called Mad Reader. The next app I want to talk about is called Beanstack, and you need an account for this one as well. As you can see, I had started with a winter 2021 current challenge. So there are challenges. There's reading logs that you can do. There's reading sessions that allow you to see how long it takes you to read. I read about, in this particular book, it was a minute per page. I read 8 pages and it took me 8 minutes. The pause and continue is really easy on this one. You can cancel in the middle of it. What else? This one is, there is a reading timer, which again is nice and easy. That's what I wanted to talk about. The reading challenges you can do. See here where I registered for it. There are badges, but again, you can only put 10 books on this app unless you want to purchase the upgrade, again, which is $59.99 a year. I believe all of these more expensive apps do have a 7-day trial period. Let's go to the next one. Reading log. There, you scan it through an ISB. Pretty easy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. As you can see here, it's not working. So I had to switch the book out. I don't know what was wrong with that one, but this one worked pretty much immediately. So you can scan it, or you could type in the ISBN. And that's pretty much it. There's a start your reading timer that you can add. You can choose how many minutes you want to read by, 5-minute increments. And let's see what else. Oh, and it just tells you, you know, how many minutes you've read, how many pages, and then this is all of the information that you can go through if you want. Some other information about the Reading Log app is that as you saw, there is a timer, but you cannot see it while it's like ticking down. So you set the timer with 5-minute increments. So say you set it for 20 minutes, it'll just go off in 20 minutes. You don't get to see it ticking down. That is the Reading Log. This one is called Book Breeze. And this one, you can see that there's today, this week, there's records, totals on how many books you've read. Here is your actual timer that it's set to, so you can read as much as you want. You can save a reading session. What else we have? Oh, it says you can buy it. But there's the stats. You can see how many pages you've read, how many minutes it takes you to read so many pages. Here's the settings. You can, there's a progress of percentages. You can set up a daily reminder, which I thought was really cool. So it'll make the alarm go off at a certain time on a certain day. It only does one day. It doesn't do every single day, but it will choose a day and then a certain time, and then it allows you to read that. This one also has some information. Now, you got to see twice where you can pay extra for the Pro version of this app. So it's $4.99 for life, so that's a pretty cheap price. You pay $4.99 and you get unlimited books, and you also get the reading speed stats. If you don't pay for the Pro, you don't get the reading speed. So again, there's reading sessions, daily reminders, but there's no barcode scan. There's no book information, so you won't get a summary of the book that you have added. You have to add all of your books in manually. You have to take a picture of the front of the cover with your phone, and you can only read one book at a time unless you get the Pro version. So once you've read the book, then you can add it to the read pile and then scan in a new book. So this is kind of like a, if you don't read very many books a year, or maybe you only read one book a month, but you want to keep track of that, then this might be a really good app for you, because not only is it free and it does have a couple of features on it, but it only allows one book at a time. And if that's the kind of person you are, then basic is fine. All right, next app is called Summarize. Here you see I have one. It does have reading modes. This one I liked the best when it came to reading sessions. It allows you to add how many pages when you started. It does have stats. You can look at all of the different cards, trends, sessions about. You can give notes, flashcards. You can add quotes to this. There is an Explore section. It does come with a bar scanner, which is nice. Although this one, I kept scanning and it couldn't be found here. I had to go back then to the front of the home page, and then it showed that it had scanned, which was very weird. There you go. See how it does show the cuckoo's calling, but I don't know why it didn't show you right away. But it does give you the description of it, which is nice. And so, as you can see, I had 2 books there. More information is that there is a fee if you want to really open up this app. So there's something called the Gold Upgrade, which is $19.99 a year, which I find $20 to use a book app to be extremely high. If you wanted to do a flat fee of $29.99, then you'll never have to worry about it again. Or you can pay $2.99 a month, and maybe you can test it out and see if you like all of the major features. But like I said, it does come with stats and trends. It does have the reading mode timer, which I really did enjoy on this one particularly more than anything else, and it does connect to Goodreads. So that is Summarize. The next app we're going to look at is called Underline. And again, we have 2 books. It tells you where you're starting from because there are reading sessions. You can give your thoughts. You can give an emoji on how you feel about the book at the time that you're reading and give a little bit of information, which I found fun. So I, write something small just so you can kind of see all about it. There we go, where you can reflect on the reading. And then again, it tells you your sessions. It tells you how long you've been reading for. You can add more books to it. It's pretty basic. You can't scan it. You have to type in the book's title, and then you're allowed to add it this way. But there is no barcode scanner. So there is that. You can add it to your book collections, whether you finished it or not. Pretty simple, easy to use. There are daily and yearly goals, and yeah, you can log in. And like I said, you can upgrade it. There's your upgrade information. You can start a 7-day trial. This one was one of the more pricey apps. I can't believe that it's $59.99 a year for the Pro plan. If you choose to get the Pro plan, what comes with it is actually kind of cool, but it's more for college students than your typical, reading for leisurely purposes, because it allows you to digitize paragraphs for note taking. You get to track and add as many books as you want. I believe with Underlined you can only do 10. You get the full statistics and goals if you are Pro. It tells you how many minutes a day you need to read to achieve your goal or your yearly goal. And it does have a reading timer. So if you are a college student who needs to add notes, this will be cool because it'll allow you to add it to your textbooks. And then it allows you to do reading times and so forth. But again, $59.99 for the Pro plan is pretty pricey, and this doesn't have a lot of reviews on it, so I don't know about that. All right, the next app is called the Reader Zone. And this one was really cool. This one is for parents and children. So this one is mine. It allows me to see what books that I am reading currently. And then you can add, it says here, you can add more readers. So it does have a bar scanner. It does not come with a flashlight. As you can see, you could barely see the barcode, but you can type it into Google if you want to add the book manually. You can do it by title or author. And let's see. There you go. You can click on it. It tells you the ISBN, and I've added it pretty simply. You can add it to current reading if you've read it, or what you need. And then you can print your reports. So this is good for parents who want to keep track of how many books their children are reading on a daily basis, or in a month. And then you can have so many bookshelves. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool because it allows the parent to print out all of the stats for the child, and then the child can reflect on what they've read. So again, this is called Reading Time. If you want to unlock the full version, it's only $1.99. This was the cheapest app. I mean, of course, besides free, but this was the cheapest that had extra features on it that I thought was pretty cool to own. Adding the books to the library, like I said and like you saw, was very, very easy. Sometimes the barcode scanner doesn't work. Again, it doesn't have a flashlight, so you might have to type it in manually. You can add family members, like I said, but you can only print reading reports if you buy the full version. And again, that full version, one flat fee of $1.99. You'll never have to pay it again. And the cool thing with all of these apps that I did find is that if you have paid for the Pro or the upgraded version, all you have to do is hit refresh. Say you wanted to get rid of the app, but you've already paid. It keeps track of that, and then you just push a button that just installs the paid for app. So that is pretty cool. Next app. We are almost done, actually. Leio. L-E-I-O. Okay, so this app, you are competing against people. That's why it's part of the game center for Apple. You can edit, archive, and share your progress. This one has the achievement statistics. I showed you that. It says there like all these different like achievements you can go for. I'm a World of Warcraft player. Achievements are a major thing for me. I will do achievements all day. So I love the fact that you can set things on a calendar. You can choose what you want to read. There's a timer. It tells you how long it'll take for you to finish a book. Just like if you were to read on your Kindle or on the Amazon Kindle app, it also tells you how many more hours it'll take for you to read something. You can archive it. There is an upgrade. As you can see, you can get the full version for $7.99. You can back up and restore all of your information. Reading timer, achievements, streaks, which I always find entertaining. Goals, you connect Goodreads for $7.99, which is a one-time fee, which is not the lowest that we've seen, because $1.99 is the lowest that we've seen, but $7.99 for the achievements I think is actually pretty cool. This allows you to have unlimited books on your list. An Apple gift card for a birthday or whatever for like $10, and so this would cover it. If I was going to get any of the apps to pay for, I think this one would be one of them, just because I do love achievements so much that I would want to unlock all of those. It's kind of like challenges, right? That you would do normally, but better, because then you get to see your little progress with stamps and everything. Last one I want to talk about before the one I have on my phone. This is called Bookly. And this one's kind of obnoxious because I did allow this app to notify me, and it notifies me every single day. So as you can see, you will get a lot of information, but this app itself is kind of stingy in the fact that you don't get a lot to do if you don't buy the app. It allows you a little bit, but not a lot. Like as you can see there, you can't delete books unless you have Pro. But you do have the ability to see how many pages, the read time, you can add quotes, you can see the countdown, you can add thoughts or maybe words that you didn't know, which I really like because I read House of Leaves last year and there was a lot of words that I would have liked to add to something like this in order to look them up at a later date instead of just using flags. As you can see, it will tell you how many pages or percentage you are on in the book. You can scan it. There is no like reader, like a scanning to show you that it's being scanned, but it does read it pretty well. And I was showing you here that you can take a picture if it does not pop up right away, and you're able to then add the book cover to the app itself. And as you can see, those are the books that I was currently reading at the time. It tells you your progress by goals, monthly and yearly, which is nice. This also has coaches, and I'll show you more through it here. But if you pay for the Pro, someone will contact you and say, "Good job, keep going, you can do it." So there's like, it's not life coaches, but reading coaches to keep you on track. And then you can earn gems to buy upgrades on, like, I don't know, like maybe like the circle that goes around your face when you have a profile. Silly things like this. I couldn't see myself ever using this. Now, Bookly's yearly subscription is $29.99 a year. Otherwise, you can use it for free, but you can only add 10 books to it. As you saw, there are daily, monthly, and yearly goals that you can continue to put on there. You can set a reminder to read. Like I said, there are reading coaches, there's levels, cute widgets, badges, and medals, and it, again, gives you stats. All of that, though, is only included if you buy the Pro version. You get the daily, monthly, yearly goals, I believe, for free, and then the reader, the timer itself. But everything else is only good if you have the Pro, which is kind of a bummer. All right, so all of those I touched on are apps that I just looked up and played around with for an entire day, but I'm not planning on keeping. I might keep, like I said, I might keep the Leio, L-E-I-O, because that one does have all of those challenges that you can participate in, or at least achievements. And then I did really like Mad Reader, because again it has those badges that you can earn. I like making things a game, so if it's a game then I'll be more interested in using it. And then the last one I want to show you is the app that I'm actually using on my phone right now. It's the app that I used to put my entire library into. It does not have some of the bells and whistles that the other apps have, like reading sessions. It's basically just a collector of your library. So let me show you that one. All right, so this is just the, I meant to go to the main page where it says books. I do have 3 shelves, the ones that my son has read, the ones that I've read, and all of my unread books. At the top here, you can see where it says Revel. If I were to have hit that X button, then you could have typed whatever you wanted into a search bar. I meant to show you guys that and I forgot, but you can put those orders in ascending or descending, and depending on whether you want it to be page number, author, the title, when you do put in whatever you're searching for, say I was doing it for the Buzzwordathon, if I were to put the word dark, it would show every single book from my library that has the word dark in it. I really appreciate that because it makes looking for the books that I need on my shelves faster. When you scan these into the actual app, it stays in that order if it's on default. So if you just reset all of this, all of your, what am I called? Categories? Filters? Filters. That's what I want to say. Filters. If you default all the filters, it will just show up exactly how you scan them all in. It makes it a little bit easier when you have lots and lots of books to find exactly what shelf it's on. Otherwise, you would have to, you know, specify that maybe in the notes section. This is on, I call this my tall shelf or my birthday bookshelves or the cube shelf or the hallway shelves. So you can add that to your notes. As you saw, there was the batch scanning, so you can scan all of them at one time. There is a flashlight that is also included, which helps with the scanning. Sometimes the scanner reads that it doesn't exist, and at that point in time you'd have to put in the ISBN number. I don't know how much you guys know about books, but let me just give you an example. Here is my Hodar book. Now when you open it up, And I don't know if this one will have it, so let me... Okay, so this one just has the ISBN here, and this is what you would enter into to find the book that you want. But sometimes there is 4 ISBNs when you are looking in a book, and you would see PB or PK, which would be paperback. Sometimes there is hardcover or hard C or HK for hardcover. There is EB for ebooks. That way you get the right edition when you're putting in the ISBN number. In case you guys didn't know that. I had to do that by trial and error. So hopefully this was helpful. I had a lot of fun in researching all these different apps and, you know, filming it on my phone. It was my first time doing that, so I had a lot of fun doing that. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below which app you think that you might download yourself and use on a daily basis. If you know an app that I did not show in this video that is good for Android or Apple, please leave the link down below, or at least the name, so that way more people can look up more book apps. That's, I think, an app that we tend to ignore because not everybody is a reader. I mean, of course, there's tons of money apps and business and stocks and diet and exercise and all these other games, you know what I mean? But maybe not for books. And I was happy and pleasantly surprised to find so many available when I did. So anyways, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!